One problem that a lot of people have on their journey is that they can experience their person being really numbed out to their emotions, numbed out to the connection, numbed out to what's really going on. So let's have a look at that so you know what you can do about it. Very often the other twin flame, often the divine masculine, but not always, avoids feeling their feelings because they don't feel safe in facing them. Well, it's very easy to help them if this is the situation in your union. If they don't feel safe in facing up to their feelings and emotions, it's because you're not feeling safe in facing up to your feelings and emotions. Your twin flame chooses with you. They can't choose separately from you. Therefore, if you choose to be brave and really face up to those really uncomfortable, yucky humdingers of bad feelings that you've been carrying around within you, and work through them and love yourself there and heal them, then your twin flame has to do exactly the same thing at exactly the same time. Even if you can't see them doing it and they're not doing it in exactly the same way as you, know that if you do it, then they will do it in their own way. They may well have learned to shut down their emotions as a way to deal with pain or rejection. Well, you should know this. If you've done anything similar, if you have experienced hurt and rejection and switched your feelings off in order to be able to move through it, then they will be doing the same. Perhaps at the time you didn't have any other means of surviving these rejections or heartbreaks or bad feelings, and so numbing out was the only option. That's okay. You did what you had to do. You coped however you could. Don't be mad at yourself for this. But now that you do know what to do and what happens when you feel your feelings and bring love to these places, then you can lead the way here, and your twin flame will inevitably follow. Their numbness might be a cry for love and deeper healing. Yeah, because whatever your twin flame shows you, it's either going to be love or a call for love. If they're acting like an absolute doylem, basically they're testing you. They're saying, are you still going to love me? You're still going to love me? Are you still going to love me if I'm behaving like this? Are you still going to love me if I'm doing that? You know the drill. In fact, they can do some of the most ridiculous horsefuck shit. The most ridiculous horsefuck shit to try and prove to you that they're unlovable and don't bother and it's not happening. And so what you've got to do here is love them unconditionally through it again and again and again and again and again. Now that doesn't mean put up with bad behaviour. Set boundaries wherever necessary. Don't let them take the piss, but bear in mind that if they're crying for love in this place, there has to be a corresponding place within you that they're reflecting that's also needing your love. Don't underestimate the amount of love that they might need in these really hurt places. It might be a lot of love. And naturally, if that's the case, then you need even more love of your own for you to give to yourself in these places. Their emotional numbness will be mirroring where you're protecting your own heart. So look at how they're numb. Are they numb to your connection? Are they resisting your connection? What are you resisting as a reflection of that? Are you resisting parts of yourself? Are you avoiding certain feelings because they're uncomfortable? Are you pushing down parts of yourself that you haven't fully accepted yet? Is there a part of you that's so well hidden it's maybe completely forgotten deep in the subconscious that might be pushing love away because it thinks that love's unsafe, or love leaves, or love's painful, or love doesn't want you, or love doesn't love you? All of these places need looking at. So maybe some of these will resonate for you, maybe it'll be something else, but you've just got to still yourself, focus on your heart, feel your feelings, what's coming up, identify the upset, work through it. Another reason why the twin flame might be numbed out is that they get overwhelmed by the intensity of their emotions and don't know how to process them. Well, how would they? I mean, before you knew about twin flames and working the process, you wouldn't have known how to process these feelings either. That's why we all numbed out in the past, because it was all we knew how to do. So it's understandable if this is where your twin flame is at. Have compassion for them and just do your own inner healing. The more you heal yourself, the more you'll heal for them as well. The more you'll heal your entire union, the closer you'll come together with each other. Get good at working the process. That's all you need to do. Everything else will follow. Maybe feeling numb is their way of resisting love and surrender. Well, as I said a minute ago, do you have a place within yourself where you're pushing love away? Because if they're resisting, that's your resistance. They want to be with you as much as you want to be with them, but they also don't want to be with you as much as you don't want to be with them. And you may think, no, that's absolute rubbish. Of course I want to be with them. Well, if all of your being wanted to be with them, you would be with them, because union simply happens when you decide to be with them. If there's still a part of you that's having doubts or is afraid that it might be difficult or painful or whatever, or is afraid of love, or is still resisting love, or is still pushing love away because that part of you doesn't trust love, that's all going to keep union away. So it's just going deeper within and identifying these places, identifying these feelings, so you can work through them then. But you're not going to be able to work through them unless you identify them. And sometimes your twin flame shoves these hurt places right in your face. The more you're able to identify your upsets and work through them yourself, the less your twin flame will painfully trigger you, because they won't have to anymore. Maybe childhood wounds have taught them to believe that vulnerability is dangerous. A lot of people, I think, when they were children, if they showed any vulnerability to their family, then the family would weaponize that vulnerability against them. Perhaps they were taught that vulnerability was weakness, that love was weakness, that all of this was not what a strong and independent person does. But you'll know what childhood wounds you have and how they've affected you and how that's affected your perception of love and your relationship with yourself and your relationship with love itself, and of course your relationship with your twin flame and the divine. Maybe you could revisit these places, like revisit your younger self, your inner child, they're still in there, and give your inner child the love that they were needing at the time. That will take you a long way. You have to love and accept your twin flame for where they are right now, instead of trying to fix them, because they don't need fixing. They're just moving through their own process. Just love them where they're at, faults and all, warts and all. Just know that they're on their own union journey, and just like it's a very sacred and sometimes lengthy process to reveal your twin flame to you, they're also going through their process to reveal you to them as their twin flame. Are you willing to go deeper into loving yourself even when they feel distant? Well, especially when they feel distant, I would say, because your love doesn't come from them. And if you think it does, they will show you in no uncertain terms that it doesn't, usually by removing themselves from your orbit and leaving you on your laurels, so that you can give yourself the love that you were trying to get from them. In fact, when you get to a point in your journey where they stick a brick wall or a closed door in your face, so you can no longer go in that direction any longer, so you can only go within, that's when you really start shifting on your journey, and you really start getting deep and deeper and deeper into the twin flame journey. If you can't go any further in this direction, you don't stop, you don't quit, you just change direction and keep going. Trusting the journey helps you move through the pain of any emotional shutdown, because you can give yourself all the love that you're needing. You can give yourself all the love of the universe and multiply that love by 10 billion. You can do that. It's all at your disposal. It's all at your fingertips. You don't need anything from them. They will starve out your patterns. They will literally burn out any codependency that you have. It's impossible to be codependent with your twin flame because they'll just go. So be completely free of codependence. That's not a relationship that you want. I was having a bit of an argument with a friend about this in the park talk. He was saying how codependency isn't love, but it's beautiful because you know someone's there. Well, in theory, on paper, that sounds pleasant enough, but in practice, it's not like that. Codependency, more often than not, is one person being lonely enough to string someone along that they don't feel anything for, and the one that's being strung along living in constant terror of getting dumped. And people on the outside look at them and say, "Oh, look at that young love, how sweet." It sucks. Don't be doing that. That is so not twin flame. So not. You don't want any of that in your union. You want your person to be with you because they love and adore you and want to give you eternal devotion. And you both feel exactly the same way about each other, but you're not needy, you don't depend on them for what you need, because you can give yourself everything you need. You can meet your own needs, so nobody else has to do that for you or has to guess how to do that for you, which is impossible anyway. So all the love that you share between the two of you is a bonus. Divine love wants you to know that the deeper connection is always happening below the surface. It's not dependent on what you're seeing on the outside. If you're feeling your feelings and you're loving yourself and you're taking the steps and doing the mirror exercise, even if you're doing different things, the core of your union continues to develop. If you'd like to go a little bit deeper on this topic, watch this video here. See you soon.